Hello. So today I wanted to discuss intuition and sixth sense. What I think about it, my experiences, and what I think makes people find it easier to tap into their sixth sense or intuition. So I think if you're an empath, you are more than likely able to tap into that easier, I would say. And talking about empaths, I think you either born an empath or you become an empath. Sorry, I'm a bit itchy here. My allergies, it's really hot and my allergies are just intense. So sorry about that. But yeah, so you can also become an empath, especially if you've had trauma as a child. An example of that I'll give you is like, let's say a child is born or grows up in a family where a parent or parents are narcissists or something of the sort. That child will pick up abilities to sense when that parent is going to be troublesome or difficult or give them a hard time. So they tend to observe body language, right? Body language that some people wouldn't pick up on. So any slight change in facial expressions, movements, actions, even things like breathing or, that kind of thing, like that child learns to pick up on that. Mood changes, all that kind of thing. And because of that, you tend to tap into uh, senses that other people take for granted. So that's my explanation. There could be other people's explanations about being an empath, but that's just mine. Then I wanted to talk, sorry, like I said, allergies are just raging right now, including my eyes. Like I could crush them right out right now, but we won't go there. So let's talk about my experiences. So one of my experiences was we were living with my parents just before coming to the UK, and I used to do the cooking. And when I do the cooking, I like to stay in the kitchen until I'm done. It's just what I do. Anyways, this day there was a terrible thunderstorm. Everybody was in the living room and watching TV, and I was in the kitchen. And I just had this feeling like, go to the living room. And my head, I was saying, no, I'm not yet finished cooking. And I had this feeling again, go to the living room. Go to the living room. It was just a feeling. It wasn't anything being told to me. It was just a feeling like I needed to go to the living room, but I didn't want to go to the living room. And then I decided, okay, I'm just going to the living room. And as I moved away from the stove, that instant, this bolt of lightning hit the stove. The plates exploded. I was blown away. Like I was shocked because if I had taken a second longer, I would have been hit by that lightning. Honestly, I would have. A second thing happened at the same house. So, still at my parents' place, my children's father was outside on a call, and I wanted to tell him something. Now, normally, if he's on his mobile, I would wait until he finished what he was doing. However, this day, I decided to wander out outside and hang around waiting for him to finish his call. While outside, I looked towards the house and there was a cable, an electric cable that was running along the wall and went into the house, like into the roof of the house. And there was a flame, fire, yes, on that cable. I don't know, something went wrong and this flame was going up into the house. and I spotted it, so I shouted. We were able to put the fire out. Now, if I hadn't gone outside, I would have been in the house with the rest of the family. And possibly by the time we realized there was a fire and called the fire brigade, and this is like back in Africa, like, you know, it's not that easy to get a fire brigade to come to your place. And sometimes they do come there and they don't have any water. So, you know what I'm saying? So, second thing, I've got loads. I'll tell you a third one. A third one was back in the UK now. I was divorced and I was on the dating scene, and I went out on this date, right? And the guy I was with, he went to buy some drinks. And while he was getting the drinks, I started getting this feeling of, you need to go to the toilet, to the bathroom. And I'm thinking, like, I don't really need to go. But there was this feeling of, I need to go, but I don't need to go. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, he comes back, puts down the drinks, hands me my glass of wine. And I say, you know what? Can I go to the bathroom? I'll be back. So I get up and off I go. A few minutes later, I come back and there's this commotion, like people shouting, moving, running. I'm like, and then the guy that had taken me out on a date was shouting, Katrina, come this way. Don't go there. Don't go there. I was like, what? He says, you won't believe it. He says, the moment you got up and went to the bathroom, he says, this guy who was coming down the stairs above you came tumbling down and landed on your seat, and your glass of wine is smashed, and you know it's a bit of a disaster down there, so we need to go somewhere else. And I was like, what? I was thinking to myself, like, what is this, you know? But yeah, so I've had a few experiences like this. Now, here's the thing. I could have overridden that and not gone to the bathroom, you know, and disaster would have happened, you know. So I don't think I'm special, but I think I have this ability to feel or have, I call it a knowing. The reason I call it a knowing is because I don't get like voices or anything. I don't get things being said to me. It's just something that I know that I need to do. And it's almost like I have to do this. And I can't explain it sometimes. Like, why do I have to do this? But then I just do it. So I think a lot of people have that, but just don't do it. Put it that way. Sometimes people do it, but maybe there's no consistency in it, you know, that kind of thing. And these kind of things, if you look back even in history, you'll hear stories of, even like with the Twin Towers, how some people were supposed to go to the Twin Towers, they worked there and they were late, or you know, they missed the subway, or something happened out of the ordinary that, you know, they ended up not being there, or were supposed to catch a flight, were too late, that kind of thing. And I always say to people, if you miss a flight, if something happens that stops you going somewhere, don't get upset, because there could be a reason behind it. It could be a guardian angel or something. So I don't know, could be a guardian angel, but that's just my experiences. But if anybody else has had experiences or thinks it's something else, just drop something in the comment box. So that's me, over and out. Thank you.